All right, welcome back, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go over a few problems here on worksheet 6. Now, my biggest tip for you on these problems, oh, that's from my last recording, um, is you should know all of your formulas, right? Not knowing your formulas or how to use them will be a pretty big hurdle to get over during the test. So it's better to know them beforehand rather than trying to figure them out during the test this coming Friday. So I will have a formula sheet printed out for you guys tomorrow so that you guys can study those formulas. But again, know your formulas. So let's get started. I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to do some. I know one that the students seem to be struggling with was number 5. So I'll get to that one last. I'm going to do just 2 problems. Um, the one that I really wanted to do was 1. Actually, yeah. Let's do let's do 2 actually. Um, yeah. Now, sorry that took a second and I wasted some of your time. Now, I wanted to do this one. This here is actually going to be it's 2 trapezoids or 1 for my base here, right? But and then a triangle. So you just need to find that to be able to get your answers here. But let's go ahead and do number 2. Now, all of this is pretty subjective. I think on the key. We again, these are not super clear. So the key, I believe, made it so that 15 is just from here to here. Um, so I will be doing that just because the key did that. But if you did 15 is this entire side, then that's perfectly fine, right? It's a little ambiguous. We should have some arrows here or something to tell you what 15 stands for. Um, so don't feel bad if you did that, right? I again, when I did this during the tutoring center with some students, I also used that 15 as the whole base, but the key has it as just from here to here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that line there just so it's a little bit more clear for this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So this shape is made out of a trapezoid and a rectangle. So we need both of those formulas to be able to do this. Um, the trapezoid here is going to be my base 1. I'm going to say this is my base 1 and this is my base 2. And then my height here, my for my uh, for my rectangle is going to be 10. And I don't want to label this height again, so let's go ahead, since we know that base times height is the same thing as length times width, let's go ahead and say this is length and this is width, and it doesn't really matter. So now we can go ahead and solve for my area. So my area here for my trapezoid, right? The area of my trap is going to be, um, well, actually, we need to find our height first. Let's start, go ahead and writing my formulas, b1 plus b2 over 2, right? You take the average of your bases and then you multiply that by my height. So in order for us to do that, we need to find this height. This is my height. Well, how can I do that, right? We've got 6 right here. We don't know what this is. I do know that the whole length here is going to be 10. So if this is 6, then in order for me to complete this into 10, then this has to be 4. So now we found our height. Well, now we have everything we need for the trapezoid. So area of a trapezoid is going to be 15 plus 7 divided by 2 times 4. Area of my trapezoid is equal to 22 divided by 2 times 4. Area of my trapezoid is 11 times 4, which is 44 inches squared. Found it. Done. First one is 44 inches squared. Now my area of my rectangle here, I'm going to go ahead and make a shape just because it makes it a little, I don't know, I just like having my shape. Right, well, that's base times width, or in this case, or base times height, or in this case, I labeled them width times length. It's the same thing, right? And so I'm just going to go ahead and do 5 times 10. And remember, normally it is base times height or length times width, and it doesn't matter which order. So 5 times 10, and that gives me an area of 50 inches squared. So therefore, my total area is just going to be 44. So I'm going to say total A area. Let's go ahead and make this further so it's clear. And that's my answer, 94 inches squared. And we're done. If you did use 15 as the entire base, then you would have gotten 10 for the trapezoid length. And so you would have gotten, I think it ends up being like 84 inches squared or something like that. All right, cool. So let's keep going. Um, let's do this one. Yet another trapezoid. This one a lot of students struggled with. And I guess that's okay, right? It's hard to see a trapezoid when it's on its side. This trapezoid right here is on its side. It's not standing up, right? Notice that the two parallel lines, this one and this one, are left and right. It's not up and down, right? It's not on the so that means that my height here isn't 21. It's not even and it's going to be whatever this full is, which is 21, and it's going to be minus this little length here because a trapezoid ends at this spot right here. But we have extra length and we need to figure out what the height is. So since I know that these are all congruent, this is 3 and this is 3, now I have two things that I need to solve. I've got my base 1, I've got my base 2, and since I know that the whole is 21, right? This entire thing is 21, but this little part is 3. I know that if I just take 21 minus 3, and that's going to give me this height of 18. Great. I've got my base 1, I've got my base 2, I've got my height. And then I also have, it looks like a square that I can solve. So let's go ahead and solve that square first since it's easier. Um, Area of the square is going to be side squared, right? So 3 squared, area of my square is equal to 9. Now we're going to go ahead and take um, the base, the area of this trapezoid. So let's go ahead and calc that out. Area of a trap equals base 1 plus base 2 over 2. Take that average, multiply it by my height. And let's just go ahead and start replacing some of these variables. So my base 1, I labeled it as 6. My base 2, I labeled that as 3. And my height, remember, was 18. So 18. And now we're almost done. Area of the trap is equal to 9 over 2 times 18. 9 over 2, let's do 9 over 2, why not? Times 18. Let's do 9 times 18. This will give us 9 times, I remember that we can multiply across by just dividing 18 by 1. And we get 162 over 2, which then when we divide that by 2, we get the area of the trap equals 81. And this is in meters squared. And I forgot, this is meters squared as well. So now the area of my entire shape, so the total area, is equal to 9 plus 81. So my total is 90 meters squared. And that's it. So 90 meters squared. Awesome. So I want you guys, again, try the rest of these if you can. If you have any other questions, please feel free to message me and I will help you out as best I can. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.